Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh, and with Echo's update and introduction in Overwatch, we have a few new Overwatch interactions added to the game. Some of these nudge the story along a little and fill in some gaps since the announcement of Overwatch 2 last year at BlizzCon 2019. We also have a little bit of backfilling for some characters who didn't have them before, a little bit more Mercy and Genji conversation, and some introduction of a few pieces on Echo. So without further ado, here are the lines. I'll put a timecode in the description if you want to hear me talking about the lore at the end, but here are the lines first. A complete Echo voice work video will be out soon, so throw a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see that pop up in your feed.
If you're hearing this message, I guess that's it. All I ever wanted was to create a brighter future. But history always has a way of repeating itself. I have put everything that I believe in, everything that I hoped for, into this, my last creation. In the dark days to come, the world will need her. And perhaps, as long as she is there, I won't truly be gone. Keep to the plan, but be ready to adapt if necessary. Is everyone ready? Nothing to worry about, unless there's something to worry about, as Dr. Liao always said. Am I programmed to dance? Yeah! Oh! Ooh! Woo! Duplicating dance moves! To the left! To the right! Dr. Liao would be proud! The beat's rising! Ah! 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 Yeah! This is when they drop the beat! Oh! Ah! Ooh! I think I slipped a circuit!
I know we have our differences, but your brilliant mind would be welcome amongst my colleagues in Oasis.
No, thank you. You and your colleagues discredit the field of science. I want nothing to do with it.
I don't understand how you can trust Sombra.
I don't. But Sombra has her uses, and I know what she's been up to.
It's good to be working with you again, Dr. Ziegler.
And under better circumstances, too. Ah, you're here. It's good to have backup.
Always glad to lend you a hand, Dr. Ziegler.
Hammond, how did you escape anyway? What? Well, that explains the drag when I lifted off. Well, I was sure that my calculations were correct. We've been through a lot, escaping from the moon.
Doomfist, you are truly a worthy foe.
If we fight again, I can't promise you'll walk away this time.
Nor can I.
May, if you don't have anything else going on, you should come celebrate the holidays with Tracer, Emily, Athena, and me.
I'd love to. We could have hot pot.
Winston! Started on your Halloween costume yet?
Actually, I have. I was thinking of a safari costume. You thought I wasn't going to have one, didn't you?
This reminds me of our time on base in Switzerland.
You are the only one who stayed up so late. I enjoyed our conversations.
Angela, what did you wish for on your Tanzaku?
If I tell you, does it mean it won't come true?
So there we have it, some backfilling of interactions. Now, as a quick one, Echo doesn't actually have any interactions with other heroes directly right now that I can see. I would imagine that with the nature of the hero, with the sheer amount of voice work she has, impersonating every single hero, some of their voice lines for their various abilities and more, it might have been quite a lot of work. And then also the schedules of the voice actors for other heroes, and of course the world's current situation at the time I'm making this video. So what of the lore and the details? Well, it's kind of cool to see that Baptiste gets some interactions. He has not had any since his actual launch, so a little bit of backfill there is really awesome. Moira and Mercy also getting another interaction is very cool, about Mercy not being interested in Moira's particular brand of science in a different way. And some Winston and Hammond interactions, giving at least a little bit of flavour between those two. Hammond, of course, having had one with Sombra previously and similar. Interesting for the Reaper and Widowmaker one lore-wise. A lot of people have thought in the story as to what's going on with Sombra, what is actually being known about her by Talon, and it's interesting that Reaper has very, very firmly got an eye on what Sombra is up to, Widowmaker asking him the question there. So, with Sombra's under the books actions in infiltration, blackmailing Katia Volskaya, it's interesting that Reaper is really watching that, and it'll be interesting to see how that develops. As for Genji and Mercy, well, I'll leave that up to you folks. There are, of course, lines in Storm Rising talking about them having chats and similar that you can check out in my Storm Rising interactions and voice lines video, as well as my interactions and voice lines video for all of Overwatch across all of its history. So do check out this playlist if you enjoy these voice lines and you want to really get into them in more depth by hero and by event. The Tanzaku one is an interesting one, and it might be perhaps a Summer Games interaction. This is talking about Tanabata, a festival in Japan during July or August every year. You write your wish on a Tanzaku, a small piece of coloured paper, and then hang it up on bamboo, sometimes with other decorations, kind of like a wish tree. These are then set afloat perhaps on a river or burned after the festival on the next day, kind of like floating paper ships and candles on rivers. Now, the evening of the 7th Tanabata, or the Star Festival, actually originates from the meeting of a couple of deities, Orihime and Hikoboshi. Now, according to legend, the Milky Way separated these lovers and they were allowed to only meet once a year on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month. So there you go, that's the background behind that particular interaction. Maybe it triggers, I've yet to confirm, when Mercy and Genji are on Hanamura, perhaps similar to other interactions in a seasonal sense like the Chocolates one that we've seen between the two at other points in the year. So there we have it, a nice little update to interactions there with Echo's release. I've got an Echo complete voice work on the way, so keep an eye out for that video. If you like this, throw a like, subscribe, comment below with what you think of the interactions, what your favourites are, how are you finding Overwatch, how are you finding Echo. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do check out my other Overwatch lore interactions and voice line videos in the playlists here. Big thanks to my patrons on Patreon who have made many of my videos over the last 3 or 4 years possible. Do check out patreon.com/Hammeh if you'd like to see how you can support my videos from $1, euro, or coin to your Witcher as appropriate a month. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.